My name is Harpinder Randhawa and I am a spring wheat breeder at Lethbridge Research and Development Centre at Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada in Lethbridge. And I breed minor classes wheat like CPS and soft white spring wheat. Today we are in old Alberta and we are talking about midge tolerant wheat as well as Fusarium head blight resistance wheat. Both wheat midge and Fusarium head blight can cause significant economic losses to the farmers, and they can cause into yield losses as well as a greater reduction and some impact on the quality. So that's why they are very important to look into different management options for farmers in Alberta. So in order to manage damage due to wheat midge or lower the impact of losses due to wheat midge, we have been breeding for midge tolerant wheat for many years in Western Canada. And one of the key gene that we use is SM1 gene, and that to protect your wheat from wheat midge damage. So SM1 gene is the only gene available to the breeder that we can use for breeding midge tolerant varieties. And we have looked at a lot of germplasm in Western Canada and around the world, but then this is the only gene that is available. So in order to protect the longevity of the SM1 gene, we have a wheat midge stewardship plan in Western Canada, and that use about 10% of the refuge crop, and that way the midge won't able to mutate. So farmer can protect the longevity of SM1 gene by growing certified seed just one generation. So for FHB, among the various management tool, one of the most important one is to grow resistant varieties. Unfortunately, there are not a lot of resistant varieties available, but the breeder had made a significant progress in the last 5-10 years. And we have many varieties coming up which has a moderately resistance level of Fusarium head blight. So in order to mitigate both Fusarium head blight and wheat midge damages, farmer had the option to grow either midge tolerant varieties or Fusarium head blight resistance or moderate resistance or improved version of Fusarium head blight resistance varieties. So wheat breeding is very important to the farmer because we continuously face new challenges in our growing season, either through various stresses, either is abiotic stresses or biotic stresses. Biotic stresses are especially important because they changes very quickly, especially in the term of pest or diseases, and they mutate and then become a new variant of those one. And there is a continuously need to identify new source of resistance as well as understanding and characterization of those source of resistance, and then incorporating into breeding into new cultivars. Breeding for FHB is very challenging, unlike midge tolerant when we have one single gene to deal with it. In FHB, there are multiple genes and their effect is very small and accumulating, and we had to breed many of those one in order to get a desired level of Fusarium head blight resistance. So R rating does not mean you have a complete protection against Fusarium head blight in your varieties, and that means you still have to use other management practices in order to alleviate or minimize your damage due to Fusarium head blight. The way we are looking into future now, we are pyramiding different source of resistance into new cultivars. So we have multiple gene stacking in the varieties, and that has a prolonged life against those pests. Farmer can take advantage of all the information is available either through the seed guide or going through the agronomist or even talking to the breeders and even to the seed company. They are selling the seed, so they can provide the information what the characteristics of that variety has. It either is a what level of Fusarium resistance you have it, what level of midge tolerant variety can carry, and then you can use that information to make a decision at your farm what you want to grow. So as a breeder, we are always looking for new source of resistance, and we look nationally within Canada, or we go to different country, either United States or Europe, or internationally, wherever those new source of resistance are available. So we can bring that into our adapted germplasm and breed into newer varieties. It's very important to understand that developing a variety can take 10 years or longer. and you have to position yourself. You have to have understand and have a vision what is happening, how the pests are evolving, and what pests and impact they would have 5 year, 10 year down the road. And then you constantly need to incorporating and chasing new source of resistance in our breeding program. And this is the process where we can use all the tools and technologies available to us, as well as new germplasm. And breeding is a long-term process, and then we also need to create a new diversity, new source of resistance in order to maintain that level of resistance against various biotic and abiotic stresses.